from their grave. If I let them in, I'll never let them in. I've been talking to you, trying to make ends meet. If I scream it louder, will you answer me? I'm drowning, I'm drowning, I'm drowning. Why won't you save me? I'm drowning, I'm drowning, I'm drowning. Why won't you save me?
My sins had me covered in dirt. I was dancing with the devil, you would call me a flirt. Had me feeling like a prisoner, something like dirt. But I lost the smiles through trials, no stories could ever help the people I've hurt. The demons that been lurking was feeding my habits. I ain't care about the damage, I was living savage. After baptism, I felt a sin living with malice. I'm checking the status, I'm accounted as maggots. I pray you save me from my past, a bad name is my baby. I tried to cover my sins, my bed, I made it. Was moving shaded, but I repented, I killed my flesh on the daily. I lost trust, but every day I'm building my spirit up. I ain't perfect, but I'm fighting, ain't planning on giving up. But I'm drowning, and my thoughts overthinking done got me clouded. My discernment at times I feel like I'm doubting my purpose.
I'm drowning, I'm drowning. Why won't you save me? I'm drowning, I'm drowning, I'm drowning.
Yeah.
Why won't you save me?
Look, at baptism, I feel like I was spittle. This ain't no cakewalk and these demons are not Skittles. I tried to dribble, but the rock I dropped a little. But picked it back up like LeBron right up the middle. Between the flesh and spirit like I was trying to be civil, not artificial, cause my works are real official. I try to stay realer than I ran with missiles. I read epistles, my spirit crippled. Your shot came to heal out of sinners like we got sickle. My cell in the heavens and my light shine like sigils. Not fluffer with my talent, I'm bringing five like nickels. And if he allow, I'ma bring 10, I triple. Don't wanna hear I never knew you and see this
Levi Experience on G.O.C.C. Media.
Yes, yes, yes. Shalom, shalom, peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. Thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate you guys for coming in. What a powerful song, blessed song by our brother Shadiah, my brother. His new album is out, right? Beautiful, beautiful music. If Tomorrow Never Comes, streaming on all major platforms, by the way, as well. Go and check it out. But how we all doing? Welcome back to the Born of Levi Experience, brothers and sisters. Y'all see the topic of discussion today, staying productive. The countdown begins. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by this countdown has already begun. Listen, these things that we're seeing on the earth, they've been had this thing in the plans for years to come. And now we're seeing these things starting to unroll. And the thing about the enemy, they're very patient. Like they'll wait and wait and wait. And just like a snake waiting for the opportune time to strike. I'm going to show you exactly where we're going with this broadcast. But brothers and sisters, thank you guys for coming in. If I'm coming in nice and clear, like I ask you guys every week, please drop a quam in the chat for me, please. Drop a quam in the chat. Let me know that I'm coming in nice and clear. Right. And we'll begin with the broadcast. Right. I just want to make sure my volume is good. I'm coming in nice and clear. Shalom to all of the brothers and sisters who's in the room right now. I see y'all all. Maria ATL, I see you. Donald H, Carla Love, Erica H, I see you. Randall Robinson, Shalom. Frida, yes, yes, yes. Kayla, yes, yes. Gerline, Sarah Israel, Shalom. My Levite sister, all praises. All right, I got all my brothers and sisters in the check-in. I'm going to show you why the countdown has already begun. What, you know what? I'm not gonna say nothing. But I want you guys to see what I've seen. And we're gonna talk about it. But I gotta put this on the screen. And this happened about what, 3 weeks ago? Because we're like what, 2 weeks into January, 2 or 3 weeks into January. And a lot of people was talking about this, what went on at the Vatican. But we barely even spoke about it. And as creepy as it was, I'm going to play it here. And we're going to take a look at it together. So supposedly the Pope opened up 5 doors at the Vatican. But hold on, let me just play it. I'm already weirded out. I don't know about y'all, but all of these ceremonies and rituals is just creepy, like out of a horror movie. Like, what year are they in? Look at your man right here. Look at your man. What year they in? I don't know about y'all, but the Latin language is one of the most scariest language on earth. I don't know if it's supposed to be that creepy, but the Latin language is Satan's tongue, because I don't even know why is it, even when they're singing, even if I don't know if it's praise and worship what they doing, it's definitely a worship. But the tone is just so dark and just so eerie and creepy. This, mind you, this is a public ritual that they're doing for the world. I mean, I ain't walking into a service that sound like that. Like, as soon as I heard the first organ key, I'm walking out of there. And what gets me is the guys in the background, like the soldiers, the guards. I like, what? Why are they dressed like that? Knocked on the door. Like, don't that look like something straight out of a horror film? You see how slow those doors open, and he's just standing there like he gonna be greeted by the devil himself. And you know what trips me out too? The world is watching this like nothing weird is happening right now. Like, this is a regular thing. And amongst the Catholics, this is actually a regular thing. We're gonna talk about it a little bit too, but this don't seem like a welcoming type of feel. It just feels eerie and creepy. Anybody walking down that hall? like I said, we're gonna talk about why the countdown has begun. So that was one of 5 doors that Pope Francis opened up New Year's Eve. And it's funny how they use these particular dates to do their rituals, because like I said, we always said this, the elders said this, a lot of these holidays are attached to Babylonian pagan rituals that was done, years ago. So that's why they give you these holidays on these specific dates. They usually use these specific dates to do these specific rituals. But this one in particular, I want to talk about because, let me put it up on the screen. I wanted to show you the creepiness of that ceremony, because I was weirded out and creeped out by that whole ceremony too. And people was just standing there in amazement, taking pictures like this guy is Christ. But I want to show you, this. Let me go back to this screen right here. Right. This is actually on their website. You could go to the Catholic. What is this? You go to. Let me go back. No, sorry. You go back to their main page. The United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. This is their main website, right? But there was a particular article that I wanted to get from the beginning. Let me see if I can pull it up again. This is the second one I wanted to get. Give me 1 second. Let me go back to the original part of this. All right. Now I got to go back and find it. Give me 1 second. I got you guys right now. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up what I really wanted to pull up. All right, here it goes. I'm gonna come back to this website. All right, right here. Got it for you right here, right? So this is the main page for all Catholics, right? Where they go to get their information. So I want you guys to take a look and pay attention to what this is, what's going on, why those doors was open according to them. But what does it mean for us, right? But it says Jubilee 2025. So this year, supposedly for all Catholics throughout the 4 corners of the earth, is a Jubilee year for them. And I'm going to give you more insight what a Jubilee is, because there's a lot of people who's probably new to this and don't know what a Jubilee is. A Jubilee, basically every 7 years, right? According to Hebrew culture, I'll read the definition. According to Hebrew tradition, every 7 years was a Jubilee or like a Jubilee year, where if you had slaves or indentured servants, you would have to release to them, your servants, whatever the case is, your slaves, and give them their land, whatever the case is, every 7 years, like a reset. But on the 49th year, which would be the last of the 7, so 7 times 7 is what? Right? We have 7 times 7, which is 49. So on the 49th year, right, would be the end of that particular giving back to your servants, whatever the case is. But on that 50th year, the year following, would be the Jubilee year, would be a great celebration around that time amongst Hebrew culture, right? So every 50 years is a Jubilee. But prior to the 50 years, you would have 7 weeks of years. I hope that makes sense, right? So every 7 years times 7 would give you 49 years, and on that 50th year would be a Jubilee year. But for some reason, the Jewish, I could say them too, but the Catholics, they've taken this concept and created this Jubilee year. Let me before I do that, let me read this for y'all too as well, so that way y'all could see or probably get an understanding of why they're doing what they're doing. So let me go back here. I'm gonna put it on the screen so that way you guys could also read it as well too. And let me enlarge it. So Jubilee, right? Give you the definition real quick. It says to shout for joy, right? Because we understand in the Hebrew culture, right? Hebrew, the blast of a trumpet coinciding with English, whatever the case is, but basically a shout for joy. So on that 50th year, we would have a celebration. See, among the Jews, every 50th year, begin the year following the revolution of the 7 weeks of year. So 7 times 7 would give you 49. On that following year, which would be the 50th year, would be the year of Jubilee, right? This is the concept. At which time all the slaves were liberated and all lands which had been alienated during the whole period reverted to their former owners. So you would give back what was taken from those who were your slaves or working for you, right? It's basically giving back, a reset, right? Giving people a time to, I guess, recoup and to have and to own stuff and to have things, right? You see, it was a time of great joy, of great rejoicing. So now look, the third definition. A church solemnity, or ceremony celebrated at Rome. So the Romans took this on, right? In which the Pope, now this is the reason why they're doing this. This is the Pope grants plenary, indulgence to sinners. So basically, forgiving all the sinners' sins, as if he has the power to do so. I don't know. Or to as many as visit the churches of St. Peter's and St. Paul's at Rome. So every time they have a Jubilee year, right, they would open up the doors, these 5 doors, and have pilgrims or people from all over the earth walk through the church, right? And them walking through the church, their pilgrimage to Rome would be a sign of them being forgiven for their sins, which is totally opposite of what Christ asks us to do. He asks us to actually repent and be baptized for the remission of our sins and walk a new life, not literally walking through a church and through that your sins is forgiven. I don't know where they got that concept from. You would have to call the Pope himself and find that out. Right. But now let's go back to this. Let's go back to this article. Right. Let's go back to this article to show you where we're going with this conversation. So it says Jubilee 2025. And we've been talking about this on this channel for a little bit. Every time I come on, we speak about the countdown between now and 2030. So we're in 2025, so it's approximately 5 years from now will be 2030, when they supposedly will have what they have put in place, their infrastructure in place for humanity. And we spoke about this on this channel in prior videos. You could go back and watch those conversations and be up to speed. But understand that this is a countdown for the elites to be able to implement what they will implement on this earth. And this is why I'm saying we got to stay productive during this time. Like everything that we're seeing, the Most High is revealing so much. He's showing us so much. The Holy Spirit is leading us and guiding us and keeping us ahead of the curve as much as we can. But understand this, Jubilee 2025, Pilgrims of Hope, right? It says, as the universal church looks towards the Jubilee year 2025, which we're in, and they ushered it in on December 24th when they opened up Satan's doors. I mean, the doors, right? It says the 2025th anniversary of the incarnation of our Lord. Right? But they're not really celebrating our Lord, brothers and sisters. They're really not. Don't let them fool you. Right? It says the U.S.C.C.B. is thrilled to support the Holy Father in this event of great spiritual, you see that? Spiritual, and I want you to understand that when they're saying they're supporting the Holy Father, they're not talking about our Heavenly Father, brothers and sisters. They're not talking about the Most High that sit upon the throne. They consider the Holy Father the Pope. That's who they're supporting in this initiative, right? So it says, as we support the Holy Father in the event of great spiritual, ecclesial, and social significance in the life of the church. Pope Francis stated in his February 2022 letter, so this was 3 years ago, announcing the Jubilee 2025. We must fan the flame of hope that has been given us and help everyone to gain new strength, and certainly by looking to the future with an open spirit. With an open spirit. Open spirit, huh? A trusting heart and far-sighted vision. The forthcoming Jubilee can contribute greatly to restoring a climate, see, they're using trigger words, climate of hope and trust as a prelude to the renewal and rebirth that we so greatly or urgently desire. So these are all trigger words, code words on what they're trying to, they just want the world to have an open heart, an open spirit, an open mind to the changes that they will be bringing. Right? Look, the Jubilee year will offer the faithful opportunity to participants in various Jubilee events at the Vatican. So you see that here, right? So here it is. They've been planning this, right? And on December 24th, they've opened these doors. Some people are saying they're portals. I'm not going to sit here and be like they're portals. I can't confirm that. But whatever it is, I know it's significant to what's going on earth currently. They opened up 5 doors. We have 5 years to 2030. I don't want to sound like some kind of conspiracy theorist, but listen, I don't know. I want to also show y'all this as well too, which I found very interesting. Look at these huge doors. That's at St. John's Lutheran. Y'all see how big these doors is? So supposedly the origin of these doors came from Rome, right? They took it from, is there any sound? They've taken these doors is like about 2,000 years old. But I want you to see how tall and how massive these doors are. So they took them from Rome. They were on, I guess, on Capitol Hill in the Senate, and they put them in the Vatican. But like I said, take a look at these doors. Who was big enough to open and close these doors? And as this man closes these doors, right? Look all the way on the top here. There's a lock up here. Who was tall enough to open up this, to lock this door? Look how small the average man is compared to how tall and how high the locks are for this door. Who was opening this door? Who was coming through these doors? I mean, y'all guess is as big as mine, or as good as mine, I should say. Makes no dang sense why mere men this size would have a door this big. I don't need a door that big. I could crawl under this thing if I wanted to. But who's really running things? And I've showed this image years ago. I didn't pull it up. I think I have it saved on my phone. I have it saved in my favorites. And I think I showed it on a broadcast years ago. And this is a picture. When I seen it, I'm like, nah, I got to save this image because no one is going to believe this. Let me go into my favorites. Let me see if I could pull it up real quick. I got to show y'all because giant doors, We understand, according to scriptures, giants ran, they roamed the earth. And believe it or not, brothers and sisters, they still are in control. Don't think for 1 second it's mere men. It's Donald Trump and Mr. Biden. They all getting directives from a particular place. Give me 1 second. I hate how they change the interface on how this thing looks. Let me see if I can find my favorites here, because I want to show y'all this image that I think I know I showed it years ago on the broadcast, where it was on the United States official website, the homepage of the United States, where it showed Donald Trump coming down Air Force One, a big jet. He's coming down the stairs. But when you look to the far right, there was this very tall, large individual standing right next to one of the jets. He was almost as tall as one of the jets of a 747 Air Force One plane. And he had media crews surrounding him, taking pictures of him. And I'm like, yo, they just putting it in plain sight now. But I want to, like I said, I want to try to see if I can find it. I can't find one of my favorites is. They changed on Apple. They changed the whole interface of what your phone looks like. Give me a second. Well, I'll find it before the broadcast ends. And I want to show, like I said, I want to show y'all, because when I seen this, I was like, nah, I have to screenshot this, because no one is going to believe me if I just said it out of my mouth. Give me 1 second. I can't find this thing for the life of me. Where's my favorites? It's like they made it so hard for you to find your stuff now. Give me one. I have to show y'all this image. Video, selfies, lives. No. Oh man, I really wish I had this programmed before, but nonetheless, I'll show y'all at a later time. But I just wanted to show y'all these doors, and this is one of the doors that's at the Vatican, right? These huge doors, like it isn't like no, and I don't know if anybody is like looking at these doors and like, yo, why you need doors this big? This big? It don't make any sense, right? But understand where these people are getting their directives from. They're not regular people. The scripture tells us that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. This battle is not against mere men. All right. This is the reason why the celestial have to come down into this realm and fight against the powers of this earth. But anyways, let's continue. So we see we're in the Catholics or the Pope's beginning of the Jubilee year. So basically, let me go back to this. Let me show y'all this right quick. And I showed this before. I actually went to that first, where they actually have a calendar, right? A calendar of events for this 2025 year, Jubilee year. So starting from December, 2024, when they opened up the portal, not the portal, but the doors, then you have a full year. Every month, brothers and sisters, something will be taking place over there. They got the whole year already scheduled. And they'll be closing the doors, again, a full cycle on the 28th, looks like, of December. And the last door will be closing January the 6th of next year. So this is a whole plan. And like I said, they opened up 5 doors. My theory, 5 doors representing the 5 years left that they got, whatever the case is. So I wanted to show that how detailed the enemy is, or how these nations are when it comes to planning. And we got to understand not to be fearful through this, not to procrastinate through this, because when 2020 hit and the world was shut down, I believe the Most High gave us a window of opportunity, or just a window to see that, in a blink of an eye, life could change like this. Like, how many of us realize that our lives changed in a matter of a week, a day, when they just shut down the country? So we understand that these things are signs of what's to come. And I believe that now more than ever, the Most High has given us an opportunity with this window that they have for humanity, for us to get things in order, for us to get things right, for us to stay productive. And there's a reason why I'm talking like this, because during this time, there's so many people. Look, there's so many people that are going back to sleep. And when I say back to sleep, they're going back into the world. They're going back into their former ways. And it's like we gotta look at it like, did the Most High give us all of this information, give us all of this insight for us to go back to sleep? For us to go back into the world, for us to go back into the things that we were dealing with, that the Most High saved us from? Now, let me read this with y'all before I play more videos. And this broadcast is more so of like a encouragement broadcast, more so of a keeping you focused type of broadcast, because listen, we are here. We are at this countdown, brothers and sisters, whether you want to believe it or not. They counting down for something. Hit that like button also as well, brothers and sisters, on your way in. Right? And last week we was talking about fear. How everything in this life is driven by fear. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit right after I read this scripture. How even in the media is designed to keep you frustrated, depressed, and in fear. But let me read this real quick. In Revelations chapter 3, verse 10. I don't know. I feel like I'm losing my voice. I rebuke that though. Right? But here we go in Revelations 3 verse 10. It says, this is Christ speaking here. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. What is the word of his patience, brothers and sisters? The words of Christ's patience is everything that he has prophesied that would come on earth, right? From Matthew, the 24th chapter. All of the things that we would see leading up to the signs of his coming, right? The wars, the rumors of wars, the love of many shall wax cold. They will try to give you up. All of these things, famines, earthquakes, pestilences, all of these things is happening all at once. And he said, because thou hast kept my word, the word of my patience, the words that I said that will surely come to pass. Because one must be patient to see these things through. Right? He said, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. And this is and I believe, brothers and sisters, more than ever, we are in that time. We are in that time of that hour of temptation. We are in that time where a lot of us will be tried, will be tested. Right? Because you got to understand, this kingdom that's coming is only for a few. You can't just walk up in this kingdom and think like, yeah, I had everything before. Let me have everything again. It don't work like that. It says, he said, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world. So there's nowhere you're going to go on the earth where you're not escaping this. It will come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So now when we look at the try them, what are they what is he trying to try? Who is he trying? Right? Let me go here. Let me give you a precept for this real quick. I'm in the book of Daniel. Daniel 11, I believe. Yep. And look, let's look at this. So in Daniel 11, chapter 30, Daniel chapter 11, verse 35, right? I like so much thoughts is going in my mind. It's like I'm trying to say everything that's coming in my mind at the same time. That's how the information is coming for some reason. But here it is. Daniel chapter 11, verse 35, it says, and some of them of understanding shall fall. Right? Why? to try them and to purge and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. So now what is he trying to try? Why is he purging us? Why is he trying to make us white? Why is he trying to make us white? Right? Look, one last precept. I'm going to go to the book of Zechariah. Zechariah 13. All right? And look at this. Did it get cut off? It did get cut off a little bit. Let me fix that. The bottom of the screen has been cut off. I want to fix that for you guys real quick. All right. Here it goes. All right. Here we go. So it says here, I'm going to start at verse 7, right? Zechariah 13, verse 7. It says, "Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, saith the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. And I will turn mine hand upon the little ones." Look at this, verse 8. "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die." So two parts of humanity will be cut off, right? "But the third part shall be left therein." So a third will be left. And it says, "And I will bring the third part," what? "Through the fire." So this is all part of that being tried, right? Being tested, being made white, being purged. He said, "I will bring the third part through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried." Brothers and sisters, y'all ever seen how gold and silver is made? Especially gold. Gold is put through a rigorous process of heat and fire, and is melted down through fire. It's melted down, and through that process is reshaped to how the jeweler want to shape it. And that's what has to happen to all Israel, to all that believe. We must be brought through the fire, broken down, and reshaped to the Father's liking. And this is what's happening in our lives right now. And if you don't realize that now. And there's some people who are going through the purge, who is going through what the Most High is putting them through, going through the fire, but won't allow the Father to mold them. They want to run out of the fire, run out of the heat when the Most High just started. These things have to take place in your life to be broken down, so you could be used, so you could be for the Father's use. And a lot of people run away from that. I can't do this. I can't deal with this. Nah, I was better off asleep in the Christian church. I was better off in the streets. I had better times in the club. Why am I going through this? Why am I putting myself through this? They don't understand the process what the Most High is bringing them through. It says, "And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on" what? "My name." And there's only one name, brothers and sisters. Don't be swindled out there with there's many different names of God and this is how I want to refer to him. This is how I feel. Nah. You could only go by what God said to call him. I cannot tell you to call him based on what you feel. That don't make sense. Who am I to say this is not the name of God? If God said this is my name forever, who am I to say, yeah, that's not his name. That's his attributes. That's a similitude of his name. What? His name is I am that I am, Ahaya Shahaya. But those who call upon his name, and I will what? I will hear them. He will hear those who are calling upon his name. And I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Lord is my God. The Most High Ahaya is our God. So this is what the world will be tried with. This is what we would be tried with. We will be tried. The third, the parts of mankind that the Most High is looking to save will be tried through this. And we're seeing it. But all praises be to the Most High that he's allowed us a window of opportunity to get things in order. The same way what he did with our forefathers back in Egypt. Before Jacob went in there with the 70 souls. I'm talking about from when Joseph was in there. Who historians call Imhotep. What the scholars call Imhotep, that was Joseph. When the Most High sent Joseph before his brethren, exalted him in Egypt, became the second reigning official outside of the Pharaoh. And through that, the Most High preserved the world and his brothers through the 7-year famine. The Most High gave Joseph the insight on what to do to save them through the famine. So we serve that same God, brothers and sisters. We serve that same power that gave Joseph those visions. That Moses was talking to and parted the Red Sea. That's the same God that we serve. You have to understand that. You have to believe that. You have to know that that's the same God that we serving. And now that we have his name, right? Why wouldn't he not preserve us the same way how he preserved our forefathers in the wilderness? In the book of Malachi 3 verse 6, it says, I am the Most High. I change not. So the Most High never changed. So he going to deal with us the same way he dealt with our forefathers. So now we understand that the countdown has begun. We're in the Catholics' Jubilee year. They're calling this the Jubilee year. Okay, you could call it that. It's all good. Right? And just to backtrack a little bit, understanding how the media is used, especially news. And it's funny that I'm bringing this up because, like, you know, I like to listen to the news on the way to work. Sometimes I don't be wanting to hear music. Sometimes I just want to hear what's going on locally. But the local news, brothers and sisters, is so depressing. Like we was driving to Shabbat, myself and my aunt Daniel, right? And he asked me, yo, how long you been listening to the news for? I was like, I just be listening to it here and there, right? But I told him, I was like, yo, the news, like when you especially listening to the radio news, there's only 4 things you're gonna hear about. And it's so funny because as I said it came up on the radio. The only thing you're gonna hear in the news, local news, is about a robbery, a shooting, a stabbing, or a fire. And the only feel-good story is going to be about a dog or a cat. I don't know if y'all witnessed that yet, or if y'all been seeing that. The only thing you're going to hear about in the news is about a shooting or a stabbing, a robbery, fires, and the feel-good story is going to be about a dog or a cat. And as I said that, the very next report was 50 dogs and cats were rescued and was adopted. I'm like, yo, y'all just was talking about someone who got shot and stabbed, and you tell it you want me to feel good about a dogs and cats that got rescued? It's like they do it purposely though. It's a whole agenda behind that. I'm telling y'all. Right? It's a whole agenda. And it's as if they do this to keep us in a state of fear, panic, depression. Look, I'm gonna play this. Let me play this. Listen to this man speaks. Where's my sound? 1 second, right here.
News watcher, and I have people, they watch the 6 o'clock in the morning, the 7 o'clock, the 10 o'clock. It's too much. I got other things to fill my mind with than this person robbed this person do that. And I mean, it's important to know the news, but I just can't fill my day up with it.
I was looking for one story this past week. here in Atlanta, I was looking for one particular story on WSB, and I was rolling down, and I was in the shop when I was looking. I said, at first of all, I never found the story I was looking for. I said, this is depressing.
It is.
One tragic story after another.
I don't watch the news. I'm just not a news watcher, and I have people.
You see? So people are realizing it. Like if you under a spell, you may not realize it, but every other story is a depressing story. It's about, like I said, you're either going to hear about a robbery, a shooting, a stabbing, right? Fires somewhere that broke out. And the feel-good story is going to be about a dog or a dog or a cat or some kind of animal somewhere that we have no access to. It doesn't make any sense. So we spoke about this last week about the fear. They have to keep us in this fear. And one thing about fear is it keeps you stagnant. It keeps you in place. It keeps you like, okay, I'm not too sure what's happening over there, so let me just stay right here. Maybe if I just stay here, maybe if I stay put, I'll be fine. I'll be safe. But is that really the right mindset to have when everything around you that's being reported is chaotic, but they're telling you just stay safe. Just stay where you are. Don't worry about it. And everything that's around you shows signs of unsafeness, if that's a word. No safety nowhere. Chaos. Right? High debt. Tolls out of New York City is not a real place. I'm telling y'all right now. And me personally, now more than ever, I'm starting to believe and understand that New York City is not a place for families. Like, I don't think they ever created New York City for families to live there. I believe New York City is a place to just go to make money and then leave there and then go to where you're supposed to live. I don't believe New York City is a place to live. And the people that live in New York City, I'm talking about in the cities, in the 5 boroughs, not the whole state, the 5 boroughs, right? The reason why a lot of people are so much on edge and so quick to fight and just be crazy and just in a rush, everybody is congested. Everybody's on top of each other, though. Even the construct on how everything is designed. You know, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, so I know it firsthand. If anybody could tell you about New York, I'll tell you, right? And the way they have had us all stacked up on top of each other, you could barely find parking. If you allow it to get to you, it'll make you snap. But it's designed that way for some weird reason. I don't know why. I don't know who thought that this would be a good idea to pack everybody like this in a city like this and make it unaffordable. But whoever did that had to be the devil himself, because it don't make any sense. Let me see. Let me pull this up. Got a couple of videos to show y'all here. Let me pull this up. Speaking of New York City. Right? Let me do this real quick. And there's this channel, I like his channel a lot. His name is Cash Jordan. He reports a lot about stuff that's happening in New York. And he reports a lot of the things that we don't be seeing. Like, we hear of it, but we don't make no fuss about it. But take a look at this video real quick. I got it unmuted. All right, here you go.
First, a horrific scene on the New York City subway. The video difficult to watch. The suspect quickly captured by police and just charged with attempted murder. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon. has the story.
So we've got a problem because over the last few weeks, the governor has been pouring troops into the subway to stop incidents like this from ever taking place. But that hasn't been working, and New Yorkers are starting to realize that no matter how much security our subway gets, the marauding criminal element down here is going to find ways around it, making the subway so dangerous nobody down here is 100% safe.
The chilling video shows a man standing close to the edge of the platform behind a couple of ferry evaders and another man approaching and casually shoving him. First responders would go between the stopped subway cars to rescue the 45-year-old.
A series of violent incidents on New York City's subways has some strap hangers shaken.
I definitely think it's very scary riding the subway sometimes. There should be a bigger presence of police.
Quite scared. I mean, today I've had some trouble on the subway, I'll say.
Reducing the amount of people who come into the system without paying is ultimately reducing felony crime. Because these are going to be people who are going to have knives, they're going to push people on the tracks.
Police say this attack appears to be random, and this comes 1 week after NYPD says a 72-year-old man was pushed onto the tracks. And of course, earlier this month, a woman was set on fire by a man police say illegally entered this country.
So as y'all can see, especially in New York City, it's not getting any better in that city. Right? Look, that was one attempt. They attempted, but all right, let me say it like this. A lot of the way they, the so-called powers that be, the way they operate, it's like they gotta create the chaos and then bring the order out of chaos. So they created the issue. Now they have to come with the solution, because the whole migrants crisis that was happening the past 4 years of the last administration, right? They allowed them to come into our city. They allowed them, but it's not like they didn't know that the people that they were allowing to come into the city weren't dangerous people. So what is the solution? What is the solution? Hold on. What is the solution to the problem?
There are now more National Guard soldiers down in the subway system than after 9/11. The governor saying that the initial deployment was so successful, she's adding more troops to accomplish this safety mission.
So you heard it right there. We now have the most troops that we've had stationed in the subway since 9/11. And while our leaders say this is not in response to any specific incident, there have been a number of recent incidents which have captured the attention of riders and reopened a conversation about how safe the subway actually is. And by flooding the subway with troops, critics say our leaders are subtly admitting that without them we'd be in danger of something.
Scores of additional.
And you see, brothers and sisters, this was the plan the whole time. Don't let this fool you like this is something that just came out of nowhere and okay, we got to act fast. This was the plan the whole time, to have military walking around instead of your local police. And he said there's more military walking around in the subways since 9/11. And you would have thought in 9/11 the whole street should have been full of military. But it was incremental. They had to break us down incrementally. And 9/11 was what? 25 years ago? Was it? 25, 24 years ago? Now we into this Jubilee year, so-called, quote unquote. Right? So understand that these things are strategically planned. So they brought in the migrants, let them run amok. You can't arrest them because they're not under our jurisdiction. Let them go crazy, let them rob, kill, steal, let them do all these things. And now we got the solution. Military. This was the plan the whole time.
Soldiers are taking up positions in the New York City transit system. It brings to 1,000 the number of National Guard members stationed at subway entrances. A show of force intended to deter crime.
And you see, people don't even understand that we at war. You see, in military, you use the military for war. You don't use the military to police regular streets. Yeah, that's why you have police officers. Why they have jobs then? See?
And to reassure riders.
I saw like officers like on duty, which I was like, okay, like I'm safe here.
There's too many crazy people out here, and the more that they have down here, the better.
The mental illness, the homeless, they need help.
250 additional National Guard soldiers are being deployed to stations across the city. The Guardsmen are being added to the 750 on patrol since last March.
I've heard from many people that the presence of the National Guard has made not just a physical difference, but a psychological difference in how they feel about safety.
See? See? That was the plan the whole time. But is it, and it's it's nothing new under the sun. We understand in 70 AD, the way they were able to sack Jerusalem was they had to entrench the inhabitants of Jerusalem within a garrison, a big wall, a trench. And they had the Roman military come in, right, to police them. But what were they actually doing to them during 70 AD? They were stopping the flow of food coming in, the food and water coming in to Jerusalem. And anybody who would try to leave Jerusalem, right, and to go out and bring forth more food and water, the Roman soldiers was taking them out, as picking them off one by one. And it goes back to the prophecy when Christ says, when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, what? Flee into the mountains. And those who took heed were the ones who fled into the wilderness and was safe for a time and times and a half times. Right? So we could see the patterns. So now the question is, are they really here for our protection, for our good? Only time will tell. But we understand that and what we all should understand is that I'm not going to be a fool to history. You fool me one time, shame on you. Shame on me. No, shame on you. You fool me twice, shame on me now. Like your man George W. Bush said, a fool get fooled, you can't get fooled again. Right? So they're not fooling me this time. So brothers and sisters, we have to make provisions and stay productive, because they're on the clock. Believe it or not, we not on this clock. We're living in the clock, but we don't have a time frame. But they have a window that they're looking to implement all of these things. So they have to break it down. And we spoke about this on this channel as well too, how even in the decline and the breakdown of ancient Rome, what they've done, they've opened up their borders to what? Foreign strangers to occupy Rome. And they basically took down Rome from within. That's how you take down and dismantle a country or a city. So there's nothing new. There's not a new tactic. They've always done this, right? We're gonna do this, and we're gonna bring the solution, right? There was something else I wanted to show here. Where is it? Oh yeah, look. Even though migrant gangs rush into NYC before Trump shuts the borders. Look, I need you guys to see this real quick. Make sure everything is good on the stream. Is everything all right on the stream? Give me a thumbs up on the stream if everything is all right. We'll continue. I see it was lagging out a little bit, but if everybody say we're good, we'll continue. All right, look, let me play this video. Take a look at this.
We begin with a new report that the vicious Venezuelan gang Trendy Aragua are mobbing border crossings at El Paso, Texas in an attempt to break into the U.S. before Trump takes office.
So a new kind of crisis is emerging at the border, and it's a crisis of time, something the gang members who haven't yet made it into America are running out of. Because President Trump has promised that when he takes office, he's going to finally secure the border and deport those who pose a danger to our country, leaving criminals with what may be their very last chance to enter America and make their way to a sanctuary city. And unfortunately, they're making the most of it.
The Venezuelan prison gang known as Tren de Aragua is reportedly attacking border agents with knives, attacking them with tire irons. This seems like open season on Border Patrol agents. This is frightening.
The NYPD's chief of detectives says undocumented criminals are carrying out retail robberies and committing crimes on scooters, snatching people's jewelry, watches, and cell phones.
They are a violent gang. They are well structured, and they're here to make money. They're going to identify states that are out there that they can go to, and they can raid ATM machines, do extortion. They don't care. They see the U.S. as a big money pit.
They went into migrant shelters in New York City, for example, and they started to recruit more members. These migrants had settled in sanctuary cities, and they found their way there because they knew that it would be an easy place to start to unleash crime.
When we do make arrests and we're able to charge them on 4, 5, 6 incidents, when they go before a judge in New York City and their arrest record is run, they show no prior criminal history. They're released on their own recognizance.
So, as you can see, brothers and sisters, this is what we're up against. This is what's happening. This is what's coming into the cities where we live. But don't think for a second that the so-called powers that be don't have a plan to so-called fix this issue. Right? Like I said, they got to create the problems, right? And then like, you know what? We also have the solution. It's like what they really are is they're really the people that throw the rock and hide their hand. That's them, right? That's what they're doing. They throwing the rock. They the one who broke the glass, and they hid their hand and like, who broke this window? Don't worry, I got a guy that can fix this for you. I got a guy for you. Don't worry about it. I get it fixed for you, but it's gonna charge you. I'm gonna charge you, right? It's gonna cost a little bit, but I got you. Con artists, right? But we're gonna come back. Because I got some more videos to show you. But I want to definitely shout out our sponsors of this episode, the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Take a look at this.
Are you tired of reading the Bible and not really understanding what it means? Yo, you know you're reading the book upside down? I need a teacher. I got the perfect solution for you. The Hebrew and Bible Academy got you all covered. There, you'll learn the original Hebrew language with Elder Lawya, groundbreaking news from around the world with Elder Shaphat, and all new up-to-date lessons, including ancient history, with Elder Rawchaa. Visit us at historytimes.org and enroll there. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited.
Yes, brothers and sisters, the Hebrew and Bible Academy, brothers and sisters, the Hebrew and Bible Academy. We're getting ready to go into a new installment of the Hebrew and Bible Academy starting Sunday, February 16th, right? You don't want to miss this academy. Listen, it's going to be one for the books. As they counting down, you should be, as the world powers is counting down, you should be in these academies learning and getting the insight of what the Most High got planned for us. But in this, the theme of this upcoming academy is right here is the war of the gods. Yes, the gods that fell to this earth and that are warring against the inhabitants of the earth and our God. So they're the ones that's the hand that's throwing the rock and hiding it, right? But in this, we're going to go into in-depth lessons like never before. The origin of angels, the reason Adam fell, the true understanding of the Antichrist, the true doctrine to the Gentiles, and more live interviews to come. So brothers and sisters, you don't want to miss the next Hebrew and Bible Academy starting February 16th. Go to historytimes.org to enroll there. You'll have all the information on how to enroll. And I'm telling you, it's best that you have this information than not have it, right? And especially if you're thinking about baptism, right? I know a lot of us we want to get baptized. We want to make sure we're sealed, we're covered. But one thing that comes with baptism is you understanding what you're getting baptized into. And I'm starting to see that too many people are getting baptized and not really grounded in the doctrine, don't really have a firm foundation, and they end up being unfruitful and leaving altogether. So do yourself a favor. If you want to be baptized for the remission of your sins, we'll baptize you, but do yourself a favor and learn, right? Learn. Relearn and redo what the processes that you had before prior to this knowledge, because it's not going to help you. You can't mate it together, right? You got to break it down. As like what we spoke about earlier in the broadcast, the Most High bringing you through the fire. He's going to melt you down and mold you to what he needs you to be. But you can't do that. You must subdue your own understanding. You can't do that understanding and knowing what you already know, right? So do yourself a favor, enroll in the Hebrew and Bible Academy, so that way you could give yourself a trying chance at this, so you can fight a good fight, right? So historytimes.org, brothers and sisters. All right. So let's continue with the broadcast, right? Staying productive, right? The countdown begins. So we see what's happening in these inner cities, and Elder was bringing it out yesterday as far as these 15-minute cities. And I spoke about it on this channel as well, too, prior to Elder bringing it out, the smart cities. Right. And I forgot the website. I gotta look for it again and put it on probably give it to you guys, where they have all of the cities that's listed that's part of this initiative. And yes, New York is part of that initiative. New York City was part of it as well. But they do have a detailed outline of how they want to create these 15-minute cities, these smart, so-called smart cities. So what we're seeing happening in Los Angeles right now, right, has been planned for years. What happened in Maui. And we're going to start seeing more things like this, brothers and sisters. So don't be dismayed. Don't feel as if is the end all be all. And mind you, the key word of what they're saying is cities. Smart cities. The key word, city. So understand where the focus is at. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. But if those who know, and those who have eyes can see, their focus is on these cities, these hubs, right? And they use these fear tactics to keep you in place, to not, like I was saying last week, to not see what's on the other side of the tracks. Keep that in mind, right? So let's continue. Where we's at right now. All right. No. Okay, so now let me go here. Brothers and sisters, matter of fact, let me read this real quick with you guys. What time is it? We got some time. Y'all already know I do these broadcasts right before I head to work. So I gotta put out so much information in so little time. But let me read this with you guys so you guys could understand. Like we read earlier, when Christ said to those who have held on to the words of his patience. And I mentioned to you that the words of his patience is right here, right? Matthew 24:20, verse 3. And a lot of you guys should already have known this, or are familiar with this particular passage in the scriptures, when Christ breaks down the signs of the end of this this current world. World meaning cosmos, meaning empire ruling, right? Not the end of the earth, right? But the end of the rulership. Right? For Jacob is the end of the world. For Esau is the end of the world. And what? Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So with that being said, we got to have the insight. Christ gave us the insight. And it says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us when these things shall be. Right? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world. See, the end of the world, when you go into that world, that word world in the Greek, it speaks about the establishment, the government, right? And Yeshua answered and said unto them, take heed that what? No man deceive you. When they shall say peace and safety, man, sudden destruction shall come upon you. It says, for many shall come in my name saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. We understand that many that's coming in the name of Christ, the many that's saying that they are of Christ, is no other than your modern day Christian church, right? They're the only religion right now that's saying, yo, I come in the name of Christ. But are you following the tenets of Christ? If Christ was walking on earth, would Christ be doing what you're doing right now? Right? And it says, and ye shall hear of what? Wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. So he's telling us that we're going to see these things. We're going to hear about these things. Don't be troubled in your spirit. Don't be troubled in your mind. Don't walk in fear. Don't remain stagnant. Make a plan. Work towards your salvation. And that's even not just spiritually as well, too. The spiritual part of it is the biggest part of it. Because what good is it? You got everything in the physical worked out, but your spirit ain't right. Your soul ain't right with the Most High. So it works hand in hand. You got to have it in a balance. It says, see that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So brothers and sisters, we're gonna be seeing way more than what we're seeing right now on the earth. We're gonna be seeing so much happening. But don't fold through it. Look, for nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. We understand that all these things are the beginning of sorrows. We know that. No one can't tell us that that's not the truth. Excuse me. Let me pull this up. There was something I wanted to show. What's happening? There's a lot of things happening throughout the earth, brothers and sisters. A lot of things happening throughout the earth that we're not even considering. Look at this. Right? Wild weather. A tsunami hit Peru, and this was literally a couple of weeks ago.
A strong swell has struck the northern coast of Peru, damaging resorts and ports. Artisanal fishermen in Tums and Piura have been particularly affected, as rough sea conditions prevent them from fishing and have destroyed many of their boats. Ports along the Peruvian coast have been closed, and local authorities are urging the public to stay out of Ancon Beach, one of the most popular resorts in northern Lima.
Look at this, y'all. Can you imagine this coming towards you full speed?
This natural phenomenon, which started the previous night, has alarmed visitors and residents due to the strength of the waves and their impact on areas near the boardwalk.
All right, let me get this out the way. There's something else I wanted to show y'all as well too. Right? So Christ, it's not like Christ didn't warn us about these things. Earthquakes, famines, pestilence in diverse places. There was another video that I seen that I posted. Let me go here real quick. Right here. Look at this. Hold on, let me show y'all this.
Right. Is it family from around?
Hold on. Let me show y'all this video now. Right? Right now, 72 erupting volcanoes on the map. Right
Friends
here.
and family from around the world, this is Mike with Daily Events Worldwide, and we are on January 6th, 2025. Welcome to another surviving day on the planet, and welcome to the Volcano Activity Report, as now we are reporting 72 active and erupting volcanoes across this planet. There were 69 when I put out the last volcanic activity report, which was last month. Now there are 72, as 2 have awakened just in the past week on the African continent. As posted here with Daily Events Worldwide, let's have a look at all the active volcanoes. We've got Kilauea, of course. It's been active since Christmas Eve.
So here it is. I don't got to play the whole video. Just wanted to show that part. 72 active volcanoes. I remember there was a time, like I think when I was in elementary school, that, learning in science class that a lot of volcanoes were dormant. And and now all of a sudden, all of these volcanoes now are just now active. And it's just like what Christ was saying in Matthew 24. These are all signs. The earth is actually speaking. The earth is actually showing that these things are happening and we're close to Christ's coming. But he said what? See that ye are not troubled, because the end is not even yet. So if you're so he basically saying, if you're troubled through this, you ain't making it for what's really coming down the pipeline. You're really not going to be ready. Right. And I understand it sounds like doom and gloom, but sometimes we need this shaking. We need to talk about these things so that way we could get prepared. We could get in front of things. Right. The Most High didn't give us, like I always say, the Most High didn't give us this information for us to be afraid and to be hiding. Right. The Most High is going to preserve us through this. And we have to understand that. We have to understand that these things we will be protected through these things. Give me 1 second. Let me, there's another video I wanted to play. This it? No. Give me 1 second. There's another video I wanted to play. This right here. I just want to play a little bit of it. Nothing too crazy. Just to give you, because everybody, we all talk
This as New Yorkers are now being egregiously taxed for trying to drive in to New York City, as of course they're told and reassured, don't worry, the violently filled, trash, rat-infested crap hole known as the New York City subway system is now your safe alternative to, of course, your vehicle that used to represent total freedom and Americana, as it is directly under attack by the globalists. As in this video, I specifically want to argue how this has been building up and happening for a very long time, as you are being coerced, you are being bamboozled into the UN 2030 15-minute city agenda that already is being implemented slowly and surely. As we keep getting crazier and crazier video footage from New York City, as more and more people are just being absolutely thrown to the winds of lunatics and crazy people, as we keep hearing story after story of innocent, honest, hardworking people being thrown onto the tracks, being violently beaten, hurt in many unspeakable ways, as the few who actually stand up against a lot of this bedlam and nonsense are actually deemed enemies of the state. I'm looking at you, Daniel Penny. It's one reason why a lot of people are making the very hard choice and decisions to gamble with their safety, to gamble with their lives, because now the city has made it unaffordable to be able to, of course, travel in through your own private vehicle. As they
and you see that, and brothers and sisters, this is just what's happening over here in New York. Right? I could only imagine what's happening in the cities where you guys at. I can only imagine what's happening there. But it's like New York is like a testing ground. New York and it's like New York and LA is like they're both testing grounds for what they're trying to bring forth on the earth. It's like they starting from the borders and just trying to work their way in, in the inner country. Look, congestion surcharges. So it's like the more and more I'm seeing these reports, the more and more I'm saying to myself, like, yo, they really dismantling this thing. But like I said, it's only they're doing this. They're allowing this to take place. And the thing is, they don't care about the casualties. They don't care about the people who lose their lives through this. Right. They're allowing these things because they have a solution. And their solution is their whole agenda that they've been working towards this whole time. Right. From them ushering in their Jubilee year with the Pope. Signifying to us the countdown. They've been talking about this 2030 initiative for how long? And we're literally 5 years from that. And look at all of the things. And this year just started. Like, look at all of the things that we're already dealing with, and this year just already started. It's like event after event after event.
They have told the poor and middle class people, we don't care. We're going to keep charging you an additional toll now, as of course people are already charged very significant tolls to drive in and out of New York City. But those tolls, additionally, with the extremely high insurance prices, with the extremely high parking prices, and with all the hoops you have to jump through to, of course, just get your registration and inspection, is leading a lot of people to deal with some of the most craziest situations in their lives, as perfectly highlighted by this wonderful subway experience where they literally uncover a decomposing body.
So now they cut off all the power, and EMS and NYPD is now on site.
So we're going to have to escape?
Investigating. So we're going to be here for a little while.
Do we get paid?
Wait.
Can we escape? I dad paid my fare this time.
This time, very interesting statement, as of course fare evasion is the new norm now, as a lot of people are saying, I gotta gamble my life and pay for this? Hell no.
No, I need my $375 back. Where to my mother? Hold on, wait. Miss, it's Christmas. I need my $275 back.
If you out here, I smell everything on you.
Oh.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Wait, hold on, miss. I can't get my $275 back. I'll pay.
Yes, please. 270.
You see, and leave it to Jacob to make a joke out of this, right? But and what's so crazy, like, and we read it earlier in Zechariah, in the book of Zechariah, how the Most High is gonna cut off 2/3, and only a third of it is gonna walk in, right? They're gonna be purged and go through the fire. And every day I'm at work, I'm looking around, look at the people, and I'm like, yo, a lot of these, I'm just like, dang, a lot of these people don't even know what I know. And some of them, when I look at them, I'm like, yo, I'm really literally just looking at skull and bones, just walking around. Because what's coming, y'all not even ready for what's coming. And even if a prophet would come and speak and drop wisdom on them, they wouldn't even take heed. And this is what's coming on the earth, and this is what's happening right before their faces, and they don't even consider. They don't even understand that we're at war. They don't even understand that. They don't even see it. This is where we at. This is what's happening. Right? And mind you, we're only in January. We're only in January. Trump didn't even get in office yet. And there's going to be 4 years of his administration. Then what? Then what? What will you be doing in the meantime? Will you stay productive? Or will you live in fear? Live in fear and not prepare for you and your family. And I believe we come into a time where we're going to have to start really looking at each other and be like, all right, what you good at? Yeah, you could do that. All right, what you could do? Yeah, you could do that. All right, so look at this piece of land right here. What y'all think we could do with that? It's gonna come to that time, because like I said earlier, what's their focus? Cities. They focusing on these cities. They want to make smart cities. They ain't never said nothing about smart rural areas. Right? They ain't never said that. Right? So, let me read this. Just to give y'all another level of encouragement through this time, because listen, anybody, if and that's what I'm saying, like I don't know how people are doing it right now without Christ. I don't know how you could be living right now and be living without Christ. But I understand that those who are living without Christ, they're living for themselves. So they're well entertained. They get to go to their concerts. They can watch their basketball games, their football games. They could give you the award shows. That you have all of these comforts. You still have your job. You still have your homes. You still have, money to go and do X, Y, and Z. So this is the reason why, this probably don't really pique the interest of the everyday American, because you still have your amenities. But what happens when these things are no longer afforded to you? What happens then? What happens when these things are taken away? Because apparently they're trying to take away your rights as we speak. That whole congestion pricing in New York, where in order to travel within the city now, check this out, y'all. The city that you live in, the city that you're paying taxes in order for you to drive in a certain part of the city, you have to pay a tax. That's basically what it is. You got to pay a $9 fare every time you cross through this thing. What if you got to go through there daily for work? So they slowly tightening up their grips and trying to keep people still from traveling. They're implementing their plan as we speak, trying to stop people from traveling. You can't even travel within your city without being charged a fee. That's insane. But the average person don't even realize that's another form of them taking away your freedoms. So am I going to sit around in the city that's taking away my freedom? Am I just going to sit here and let them take it? Or am I going to take my family, me and my family, we're going to go somewhere else? Scripture tells us, when you are what? Persecuted in one city, to what? Flee into the next. So if you take heed to that, all praise be to the Most High. If you don't take heed to that, you're gonna receive everything that's coming to you, because they're showing you that they don't really care about the working class. They don't care about you. They're showing you. They're showing you. And I'm gonna read, to end this off. I'm gonna read this off what Moses told Joshua and the children of Israel before his passing. And it was very encouraging. And mind you, the same God that delivered them is the same God that's going to deliver us. We just got to believe that. I'm in Deuteronomy chapter 31. I'm going to start it at verse 3, right? Well, I'll start at verse 1. Might as well. This is the closer, right? So we in Deuteronomy. And once again, brothers and sisters, you're doing a great job. Please hit that like button, right? Drive the traffic. So that way, after the broadcast, those who didn't see it will see this later, right? Don't be selfish now. Don't take all the stream for yourself, right? Share the broadcast. Don't be selfish. But let's read this. Deuteronomy 31 verse 1. And Moses went and spake these words unto all Israel. I want you guys to listen to this. And he said unto them, I am 120 years old this day, on his birthday. I can no more go out and come in. Also the Lord hath said unto me, thou shalt not go over this Jordan. So he already knew he couldn't go over the Jordan with the people. Most High told him that already for what he did. All right. Verse 3. The Lord thy God, what it says, he will go over before thee. And he will destroy these nations from before thee. So this is going to show us, and this is giving more strength to when we read in Ephesians that we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Because there's nothing that we could actually physically do, brothers and sisters. Y'all got to understand that. As far as when I say physically do, when it comes to fighting against the establishment, that's not something that we could do. We don't have the finances. We don't have a standing army. We don't have none of that stuff to actually rival these people. But the same way we didn't have that under Moses, we had the Most High. Look, he says, the Lord thy God, he will go over before thee, and he will destroy these nations from before thee, and thou shalt possess them. And Joshua, he shall go over before thee, as the Lord hath said. Look. And the Lord shall do unto them as he did to Sihon and to Og, kings of the Amorites. And we know that these were giants. Remember that giant door we showed earlier? Yeah. These are those who we got to fight against. These are those who the war is against. They're the ones who's orchestrating this. Right? Remember what the Most High did to Sihon and to Og, kings of the Amorites, and unto the land of them whom he destroyed. Remember that. And the Lord shall give them up before your face, and ye may do unto them according unto all the commandments which I have commanded you. Here's this right here. Be strong and of a good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. See? We are not to fear. We are not to be afraid of these people, because there's nothing that they could do that the Most High is not allowing them to do. And they can only go but so far. Right? It says, fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Understand that. That is a sure thing. That is a sure word. The same way he was with our forefathers back then, he's with us now, brothers and sisters. Right? It says, verse 7, and Moses called unto Joshua and said unto him in the sight of all Israel, what? Be strong and of a good courage, for thou must go with this people unto the land which the Lord hath sworn unto their fathers to give them, and thou shalt cause them to inherit it. And the Lord, he it is that doth go before thee. He will be with thee. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed. And we got to understand, this is the reason why they got their fear tactics. This is the reason why they got to keep us depressed with the news. They got to keep us in a state of a place where we feel like there's no hope. Because if we think like that, the Most High can't work in our favor. Look, just to prove that real quick, let me just go here. Hebrews 11, right? Let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all this right here. No. Right here. Hebrews 11, verse 6. And it reads, but without what? But without faith, it is impossible impossible to please him. Who's him? The Most High. The one who goes before us. The one who's going to take care of all of this before us. So we must believe in him. It says, for he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. You see, the scriptures gives us enough ammunition to be able to stand during this time. We just got to know how to navigate the word to be able to be encouraged. But praise the Most High, praise the Most High for the Most High sending teachers, right? Sending teachers, sending watchmen, sending those that will lead the people and shepherd these people and have a care for these people to show them the right way, right? Praise the Most High for our elders. Praise the Most High for our deacons, our bishops, our officers. Praise the Most High for this church, brothers and sisters. Always be grateful for this opportunity. We all have the opportunity that the world is missing out on. But here we are, we have it, and we have to use this opportunity to better ourselves, our families, and those we love. And trust me, we're coming down to that time where we're going to have to look at it, like I said, look at each other and be like, yo, what can you do? What you got? Yeah? All right, let's put that together. Well, yeah, you can do this? Okay. We coming to that time. So this is why we must stay productive. Don't allow what we're seeing on media, on social media, mainstream media, keep you stagnant, keep you in fear. 'Cause I'm telling you, they're going to keep the tight hold on us. They're going to keep pressing down, right? To get us to be so frustrated to act out so they could bring a solution. And the solution is not going to be for our turn. And this is why I said the countdown continues. The countdown is continuing, brothers and sisters. Is we here. We've been talking about this for a while now. Between now and 2030, we in that final countdown, brothers and sisters. So, brothers and sisters, understand what we up against. Know and understand our God fights for us. He's going before us. He's the one that's he's orchestrating. We're all on a chessboard. We're all just pieces on the chessboard, and he's moving the pieces how he feel. But trust the process. Don't fear, don't doubt, don't have no unbelief, because he can't work for you in that case. And I truly believe and I understand how the Most High is guiding us. I look back at my life and I'm like, yo, I see what the Most High did, how he put those pieces together, how he moved me from one place to another. I see how he's doing it. But everything is done in stages, brothers. Don't be afraid. Everything is being done in stages, a process of time. But what you need to do is renew your mind, change the way you think. Don't keep yourself in a box, right? There's life outside of your current location. But brothers and sisters, with that being said, that is my time. I hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast. Hope you guys learned a lot. Hope we all stay encouraged through this conversation, and we all make a plan, right, to make it to the other side, past their 2030 initiative. We're gonna get there. Trust me. We definitely gonna get there. And brothers and sisters, don't forget to tune in tomorrow to the Patreon update with Elder, and I believe a stream from Elder Rawchaa as well too. Stay tuned for that tomorrow. And I pray you guys have a blessed Sabbath, right? I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to some rest. Looking forward to the fellowship amongst the brethren. And, Most High willing, I'll see you next week if time permits, if my situation permits, right? Because any day now, right? But yeah, I'll see you all. Stay prayed up, sin not, bless you all. And we shall see Zion if we keep doing the right things, brothers and sisters. That's my time. I'm Deacon Isaac here on the Born of Levi Experience on G.O.C.C. Media.
Then you could be anywhere in the world, but you're now tuned into the Born of Levi Experience.
That's my time. I love y'all. Stay prayed up. Bless y'all. And we shall soon see Zion. Stay prayed up, man. Listen, prayer is going to be our key during this time. Constant communication with the Father. Being led by the Holy Spirit. Go here, turn here. Matter of fact, don't even go there. Maybe you should get out of here. Maybe you should go over here. Listen to that voice, right? I'm telling you, we will be guided. Shalom, peace and blessings.